In my bag here, I have a foolproof method for controlling your black slaves. I guarantee every one of you that if it is installed correctly, it will control the slaves for at least 300 years. My method is simple. Any member of your family or your overseer can use it. I have outlined a number of differences among the slaves, and I take these differences and make them bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes. These methods have worked on my modest plantation in the West Indies, and it will work throughout the South. Take this simple little list of differences and think about them. On the top of my list is age, but it is there only because it starts with an A. The second is color or shade. There is intelligence, size, sex, size plantations, status on plantation, attitude of owners, whether the slaves live in the valley, on the hill, east, west, north, south, have fine hair, coarse hair, or is tall or short. Now that you have a list of differences, I shall give you an outline of action. But before that, I shall assure you that distrust is stronger than trust, and envy is stronger than adulation, respect, or admiration. The black slave, after receiving this indoctrination, shall carry on and will become self refueling and self generating for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. Don't forget, you must pitch the old black male versus the young black male, and the young black male against the old black male. You must use the dark skinned slaves versus the light skinned slaves, and the light skinned slaves versus the dark skinned slaves. You must use the female versus the male, and the male versus the female. You must also have your white servants and overseers distrust all blacks, but it is necessary. Your slaves trust and depend on us. They must love, respect, and trust only us.
Um, the history that they give us about slavery is not as concrete as it actually is. And that it's frustrating sometimes that not a lot of people understand why it is important that we do understand that these things happen and how it has affected us as a people now. There's so much division among the black communities. That's why you had the Black Panther Party break down. That's why, like, there was a lot of things that were happening. Blacks just changed the way they were. Some of them bond to the idea of just working with the white man. Some feel in the middle, like we should be careful around them, but it doesn't mean we have to be so guarded. And then you have people like Malcolm X, who were strong in the black community and don't let the white man interfere. So that book was pretty graphic, but also brought to understanding of how things really work in this world, especially nowadays in America, and how that's been applied to like everyday black lives. Like they'll sometimes people will notice it, and sometimes it's it has little details. But
Gentlemen, these kits are the keys to control. Use them. Have your wives and children use them. Never miss an opportunity. If used intensively for 1 year, the slaves themselves will remain perpetually distrustful. Thank you, gentlemen.